We just witnessed maybe the biggest upset in Stanley Cup playoff history, after the record-setting 65-win Boston Bruins were taken down in overtime by a 92-point Florida Panthers team that barely snuck into the playoffs. After being up 3-1 with a chance to take it in 5, the Bruins lost in overtime 4-3. Then in Game 6, the Panthers scored quite a few goals on the likely Vezina Trophy winner, taking it 7-5. And in Game 7, the Bruins rallied from down 2-0 to go up 3-2. But with under a minute left, the resilient Florida team tied it up again. And thanks to a snipe in overtime by Carter Verhaeghe, the Panthers would shock the hockey world and finish off the President's Trophy winners. Was this the biggest choke job in NHL history? And did the Florida Panthers deserve to win this series? Heading into this matchup, we knew goaltending would be an interesting storyline. The Bruins obviously had to roll with Linus Ullmark, who was arguably the best overall goaltender during the regular season, and the Panthers were rolling with Alex Lyon, a 30-year-old rookie who was one of the main reasons Florida even ended up earning the second wildcard spot due to his play down the stretch. But by the end of the series, the two Game 7 goalies were Jeremy Swayman for Boston and Sergei Bobrovsky for Florida, who, although he had a shaky season and overall series, knows a thing or two about knocking off a President's Trophy team. After the Bruins went up in the series 3-1, things got very interesting, and the team clearly started to feel the pressure of being such heavy favorites up against a team with nothing to lose. And there were at least 4 or 5 moments where the Bruins could have closed out the series and been on to round 2, including at the end of Game 5 where Brad Marchand had a chance to put the game and series away in the dying seconds of regulation, but Bobrovsky made a huge save to keep the Panthers alive. Boston came close to putting it away in overtime, but after a brutal giveaway by Linus Ullmark, Matthew Tkachuk got a wide open chance in front and buried a backhander to force a Game 6. That Game 6 ended up being a total shootout for both teams. Montour and Tkachuk came up big yet again for the Cats, and although the Bees had 4-3 and 5-4 leads in the third, they could not hold on. Florida would not stay down, and Mr. Clutch Matthew Tkachuk tied it up on the power play before a loose arena snipe would be the game winner to send it to Game 7 in Boston. In Game 7, Florida would take a pretty early 2-0 lead, but the Bruins would fight back and eventually score 3 straight to take a 3-2 lead thanks to a clutch goal from David Pastrnak. So now all Boston has to do is hang on to a lead for about 15 minutes. But of course, with under a minute left, Brandon Montour's shot squeaks through Jeremy Swayman and the game would need overtime again. And in overtime, just as we all predicted, Carter Verhaeghe would snipe a shot past Swayman to break the hearts of the entire city of Boston and send the Panthers to a round 2 matchup with Toronto. This was an insane first-round playoff series. I certainly never thought Florida had a real chance to win this, but man was that some entertaining hockey, especially in Games 5, 6, and 7. So Boston fans, let me know down in the comments how you're feeling after this tough loss. And Florida fans, let me know how you feel after such a huge upset win. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.